This week on Lexington Now, a new council is sworn in, a new fire chief, and protecting your pipes from the cold. Happy New Year, I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of January 4th, 2021. The new year is bringing with it some new faces around City Hall, namely 4 new district council members, sworn in at an official ceremony on January 3rd.
Let me share with you a message to the incoming council members from Mayor Gorton, who regrets that she is unable to be with us today. She writes, "Congratulations," 2 exclamation points. This is a moment of excitement, anticipation, and challenge as you work to serve your districts through this most historic time, a global pandemic. Along with our citizens, I value your dedication to the greater good and anticipate these next 2 years as we move forward together. Welcome aboard. 2 more exclamation points. So thank you, Mayor Gorton. So every 2 years since I became vice mayor, I've had the privilege and honor of making a few remarks at these special occasions. Looking back, I realized that my remarks every time have differed in content, but really have consisted of 2 parts. One part is celebration, one part is challenge. Though COVID-19 changes many things, it does not change that we have much to celebrate and that we have challenges facing us. So from the broadest perspective, we celebrate our wonderful system of democracy, whose power and promise are reinforced by transitions in leadership, such as the one we are witnessing today. From a more local perspective, we celebrate our great good fortune to live in one of America's great cities. Blessed with outstanding human and natural resources since its founding at McConnell Springs in 1775. Blessed also with a long history of wise decisions about the best use of those resources in building a strong and sustainable community. I gave some thought to listing a few of those wise decisions, but then I worried that we might not agree on which ones were wise and which ones were not so wise. The ability to disagree, one important feature of our democracy we sometimes forget to celebrate. But to leave history aside and come to the present, we are gathered today to celebrate the swearing in of these 12 council members, to congratulate them and to honor them and celebrate all the hard work that goes into an election campaign. We also celebrate that each of them, each of you, is ready, willing, and able to take on the challenges that we face.
I will ask the members of the council to stand. As I call your name, you will be officially sworn into office. Administering the oath is the Honorable Melissa Moore Murphy, Fayette District Court Judge. Representing the 1st District, James Brown. Representing the 2nd District, Josh McKern. Representing the 3rd District, Hannah Legree. Representing the 4th District, Susan Lamb. Representing the 5th District, Liz Sheehan. Representing the 6th District, David Klober. Representing the 7th District, Preston Worley. Representing the 8th District, Fred Brown. Representing the 9th District, Whitney Elliott Baxter. Representing the 10th District, Amanda Mays Bledsoe. Representing the 11th District, Jennifer Reynolds. Representing the 12th District, Kathy Ploman.
If you would please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of Member of Council of the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. If you do so swear, please say, I do. I do. Congratulations.
And council isn't the only thing that's new in 2021. Lexington now has a new fire chief after the retirement of Chief Chilton. We were there for the ceremony.
Jason Wells is Lexington's new fire chief, effective immediately. There's no break from the ceremony. Also, this year, we will be celebrating the 150th anniversary of our fire department. Jim, Jason calls you, quote, his most influential fire service mentor. Jim Wells, as some of you know, served 27 years in the Lexington Fire Department, retiring as a battalion chief. The strong tradition of service that runs through the Wells family is the same tradition of service that runs through our fire department. Because of that tradition, and because of our excellent training and support from the community, we have one of the best fire departments in the country. And I have no doubt Chief Wells will build on those accomplishments. It's no surprise that even though we conducted a national search, we found our new fire chief right here. Chief Wells has the experience, the training, and the education needed to take our fire department into the future. There are a lot of challenges ahead. In the next months, we will have thousands of vaccines to administer. There are pressures on our budget. Our city is growing, creating new demand on our firefighters. And in most recent years, we have significantly expanded the service offered by the fire department through the community paramedicine program. Chief Wells says the only way to accomplish our mission is to do it together.
It is truly an honor and a privilege to stand before you as the 19th chief of the Lexington Fire Department. To say that this moment is surreal is an understatement. 25 years ago, as I was preparing to report to the training academy to begin my career with the Lexington Fire Department, I could not have imagined this moment. Over the course of that time, I've been blessed to have worked with and been mentored by so many individuals who would shape my career and ultimately lead me here. I can't possibly name all of you, but you have my eternal gratitude. Perhaps my most influential fire service mentor, though, has been my father. It's because of you that I'm here. It is certain that without the love and support of my family, I would not be here. To my wife, Faye, my daughter, Naya, my parents, Mary and Jim, my brothers and sisters, and all of my family, thank you for your support, and I love you all. To my predecessor, Chief Kristen Chilton, thank you for your amazing work leading this division and for your guidance and friendship. To Public Safety Commissioner Ken Armstrong, thank you for your leadership, and I look forward to working with you. To the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Council members, thank you for your service, and I look forward to working closely with you to serve our great city. To all of our public safety partners, thank you for what you do, and working together, we will create a safer Lexington for all citizens. And I would like to thank Mayor Linda Gorton. Mayor, thank you for your leadership example. Thank you for entrusting me with this position. I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity, and I'm excited about what we can accomplish. With all of that said, this day is not about me. This day is about the Lexington Fire Department and the community that we serve. To all of my brother and sister firefighters, past, present, and future, your selfless service is what makes this department one of the premier organizations anywhere in the country. I'm excited to work with you, and the sky is the limit. To the citizens of this community, I thank you for trusting this organization and for your support throughout the years. We will work tirelessly to provide the service that you need and deserve. The past year has been challenging in a number of ways. We are still battling a worldwide pandemic. We have and will continue to face tough economic times, and calls for social justice have echoed through our community and nation. While these times may seem challenging, and they are, we must maintain perspective. Since the inception of the Lexington Fire Department in 1871, the members of this great organization have witnessed other pandemics, world wars, a Great Depression, and tremendous social change. Through those times, the Lexington Fire Department has stood strong, always providing selfless service to this great city. Although we have and will continue to change with the times to best serve Lexington, one thing remains true. The only way to accomplish our mission is to do it together. In these times where divisiveness sometimes seems more common than unity, I ask you to remember, our mission is service, and we accomplish it together. United we serve. Thank you.
Awesome. It's beautiful. Very nice.
Keeping your pipes safe from the cold weather when we come back. Welcome back to Lexington Now. January typically brings us the coldest weather of the year, and one of the costliest hazards the cold can bring is damage to plumbing. Susan Lancho of Kentucky American Water gives us a few tips on how to prevent frozen pipes.
Kentucky American Water suggests for all of our customers that they take a few minutes to go ahead and prepare their homes now for the cold temperatures that will be coming later. And that includes things like remove your garden hoses from the spigots outside your home and make sure that you get all of those garden hoses disconnected from those spigots, because if you leave those attached, then the water in those hoses can freeze during cold temperatures and cause that frozen water become ice and back up into your home and burst your pipes. So we certainly don't want that. So go ahead and make sure you disconnect those hoses. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and check around your home for any water pipes in your home inside that are on outside walls that may be susceptible when the weather does get cold to freezing during those colder temperatures. You also want to check things like basements for pipes that are exposed in basements that get very cold, because again, those pipes can freeze and potentially burst, and that causes huge headaches and obviously some damage and cost for you in the winter. We don't want that. So go ahead and take some time, maybe check out some options for insulating those pipes at your local hardware store. Take care of that now before frozen temperatures come. And then the last thing that I would say is a really significant step to take is make sure that you and everyone in your home knows how to turn off the water to your home quickly should you have a pipe freeze this winter. And to do that, you want to know where the main water shutoff valve is located in your home. It's often in a basement or a utility room, sometimes in a crawl space, and it's typically on the side of the home where your water line enters your home from the meter. And so you want to look for that valve, and when you find it, when you identify it, go ahead and mark it with a ribbon or a piece of tape or something to let your family members know that should there ever be a burst pipe in your home, that's the valve to turn to quickly turn off your water. This winter, if you were to have a pipe freeze and burst, certainly if it bursts, you want to go ahead and again shut off that water with your main water shut-off valve until you can have time to check with your plumber, etc. But you want to keep that water turned off so that you don't cause more problems in your home. But the other thing you can do to prevent colder temperatures this winter is if you go away, for instance, if you're out of town for the weekend or you have an extended stay away from your home during the holidays, for example, make sure that when you adjust the heat for your home, don't go any lower than 55. It may be tempting to turn that heat all the way down, but if you do that, you risk your home getting really cold and causing those pipes to freeze. So you want to prevent that by going no lower than 55 degrees. To prevent pipes as well, once cold weather does get here, prevent them from freezing, you may on certain nights when the temperatures are getting really cold, to have just a trickle of water dripping from your faucet and to help that water keep moving and again prevent it from freezing. If you do have a frozen pipe, you want to, for instance, if it's under a cabinet, you want to open those cabinet doors, let the warm air of your home help to thaw those pipes out. You could take a hairdryer and blow those pipes. We don't recommend taking any kind of open flame to thaw your pipes because that can cause you other problems. But certainly sometimes it's time is what it takes. And again, if there's any indication that there's a leak that's being caused by that pipe, you want to turn your water off.
And speaking of cold weather, snow and ice often accompany the cold. But Lexington has a plan to keep roadways safe when the weather turns frightful.
This year, you can go to lexingtonky.gov, our homepage, and look at our snow plan if you're interested. Is my street or my route to work going to be treated for snow? We made some minor additions as far as adding some streets this year, but nothing major. One of the big things we're dealing with is COVID-19. So we've had to do some things to limit exposure for our drivers as far as we're a closed campus and they can't do ride-alongs with the media this year. And when folks from other facilities come to get loaded for salt, they have to stay in their vehicles. And they can't, we'll communicate by phone or by radio. We have an agreement with the State Department of Transportation that if either agency is severely impacted by the virus, that we will assume the other's routes. That's good planning by the administrations at both agencies, and we're glad to have that in place. We feel like, if you notice, we take care of everything inside New Circle Road. For example, Nicholasville Road actually is a state highway, and the state takes care of Nicholasville Road from New Circle, through Jessamine and wherever. If there was a problem within the state, we would take over that part from New Circle to the county line, or maybe longer if we needed. Same thing for them on the reverse. If there was an impact to our agency, they would come on into town and take 27 to its conclusion. Same thing with Harrodsburg Road and several other roads like that. The only thing we would not do for the state, we would not do really big roads like the interstate or New Circle, but anything else they needed help with, we would take over. Our roads are ranked 1 through 4. And basically the one being the highest priority has to deal with traffic counts and facilities. For example, I mentioned Nicholasville Road, 2 major hospitals, major retail, multiple employers up and down that corridor. So that would be an example of a road we would try to get to first. Rank 4 is what we call a neighborhood collector. It would be a road, for example, Stonewall Estates, right off of Clay's Mill. Cindy Blair is a collector road where the neighborhood residential streets empty onto the road and then folks leave or enter the neighborhood through there. That would be a rank 4. Typically rank 3s are neighborhood collectors, but they're also Lexington or school bus routes in many cases. And then a rank 2 would be a road that's a major collector or minor arterial. We've already had one small snow this season, and we saw a huge increase in wrecks and people going off the road. And it seems like the beginning of the year, everyone forgets, slow down. Most of the wrecks are caused by speed. And whether you got a tank of a vehicle or not, you cannot drive on ice. A lot of our events are preceded by rain, which inhibits our ability to pre-treat the roads. And then we get kind of a rain-sleet mix, which starts to ice up the roads, especially bridges and hills. Folks will notice that we start treating those areas first. Like you'll see us out downtown because all the big hills near Rupp Arena and around UK's campus and things like that. And we start treating those sensitive areas first and move from there. We have not declared a snow emergency since, I believe, 2008. Those routes that you see are deemed essentially critical routes throughout the county. The mayor declares an emergency. You have so many hours to get off street, get your vehicle off the street, and we're going to focus on those roads, whether it's with contractors or heavy equipment. It usually means that we're going to have an amount of snow predicted in 8 inches or more, and it's a pretty serious snow. So we have to take care of those, and emergency routes are main connector, collector type roads, and just to do the basics, whether it's to get to the hospital, groceries, things like that, we have to take care of those roads first. We are conscious of the amount of salt and chemicals that we use. We try to use the least amount possible to get the job done for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's environmentally friendlier and safer, and number two, being good stewards of city tax dollars and our resources.
Most meetings at City Hall continue to run virtually, but we are bringing many of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. And for the latest on how the city is handling the pandemic, visit our official response site, including testing sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. Once again, Happy New Year, and for all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.